A lovely question on speed distance time here. Mira's walking in a park. She walked half the total time at a speed of 2 kilometers per hour. That's sort of stage one. Then she walked half of the total distance at the speed of 3 kilometers per hour. That's stage two. And finally, she completed the remainder of the walk at a different speed of 4 kilometers per hour. So we can split this into three sections. Mira walking at different speeds for each one. And I'm going to write down speed, distance, time. So, stage one, she walked half of the total time. Let's say that the total time is capital T, so this is going to be half T. Then speed is 2, and distance is speed times time, so the distance is actually going to equal whatever the value of T is. Stage 2, walked half of the total distance, so let's say the total distance is capital D, walked half D at a speed of 3. So speed equals distance over time. We said that distance is speed times time. We can rearrange to get time is distance over speed. So a half d divided by 3 is actually going to become 1/6 d. Got a time in terms of the distance here. And finally, we've got the remainder of the walk with a speed of 4. Now we don't know what the distance or the time is. I'm just gonna say, because we're interested in a fraction of the total time that she walked at 4 kilometers per hour, I'm going to call this one x, and what we're actually interested in therefore is x over capital T. So here the distance is going to become 4x. Right, we can create some equations with this. For example, it must be that t plus a half d plus 4x is equal to capital D, the total distance. And then also a half t plus 1/6 d plus x, that must equal the total time. Right, let's try and sort of simplify both of these. So, or can we even combine them? Because remember, I'm trying to get x and t, so I'm trying to remove d from the equation. Right, I think I'm gonna sort the top one out, so it would be a half d is equal, because I can subtract a half d, is equal to t plus 4x. I might be tempted then to write d is equal to 2t plus 8x. And I can substitute that into here. In fact, before I do that, I think I'm going to times through by 6. So 3t plus d plus 6x is going to equal 6t. Do you know what? I probably should have sorted these t's out as well. So d plus 6x is going to equal 3t. Okay, right, now I'm going to put it in. Therefore, 2t plus 8x plus 6x is equal to 3t, and t is equal to 14x, which means, remember what we wanted? We wanted x over t. X over t is going to be 1 over 14. Oh, quite a lot of work there. The fraction of the total time that she walked at a speed of 4 kilometers per hour, this x divided by the total time, is going to be 1 over 14. I'm going to go through this question in a second way. It's not how I did it, it's how the answers did it, and it is a little bit simpler once you get to grips with it. I quite like my approach. It works well, but it did require a bit more combination of equations and so on. So this second approach, let's just put the speeds in. We've got 2, 3, and 4. And then I'm going to say that this time, half of the time, I'm just going to call it capital T. And then the time that we're interested in for the 4 kilometers per hour, I'm going to call that x. And we can immediately, instead of sort of finding them separately and then like adding them up to some overall time, we can just say that this one here must be t minus x. Remember, t is half the time. So we can then use that to write down the distances all in terms of the times. 2t, 3t minus x, and 4x. Now, there's one of the piece of information we need to use here, and that is that half of the total distance was at 3 kilometers per hour. So this is half of the total distance, which means that that is in fact equal to the other two, which because they must together also be half the distance. And we've created an equation this way. Remember, t is actually half the time. Just bear that in mind. So 3t minus 3x is equal to 2t plus 4x. Therefore, t is going to equal 7x. So twice the total time, um, x is going to be the total time, which is 2t divided by 14. Therefore, it's 1 over 14. Okay, yeah, it is a good approach. Yeah, it's a bit more, I think it's a little bit less intuitive personally, but maybe you disagree. But it does work out and get us the answer as well.